sound, giving to the way we're in right now. Hey, like da-da-da-da-da, a new day, a new place, like da-da-da-da-da.
Just as the caterpillar emerges as the butterfly, we are living at the end of one world and the beginning of another. Some refer to it as the new earth. There's a new story emerging that affects our thinking about almost everything we've been told about who we are and from where we come. New discoveries are overturning years of scientific thinking regarding the existence of ancient advanced civilizations, making it clear that we have to adjust our story closer to the truth. Hello everybody, thanks for dropping in. This is your first Fly Deep Rise Above experience. My name is Clay. Jackie and I welcome you to our channel. We are helping to shift perspectives by raising awareness of this most amazing world in which we are a part. We believe knowledge is the power that empowers us to be fearless in the face of the relentless peddling of fear. And hidden knowledge is hidden power. Today, I'll fly us deep into converging cycles of time to help explain this transformative period on Earth in which we find ourselves. Then we'll rise above as Jackie leads us into the Earth element, the final segment of the four-part Becoming Elemental series. Ready to ride the cycles? Let's fly deep. I think it's safe to say, and many of us would agree, that there's a heightened sense of tension and anxiety permeating our planet today. We are living in a time of convergence of three major cycles of change: the climate cycle, the economic cycle, and the cycle of human conflict. These are natural cycles, cosmic rhythms that occur on a repeating basis. These are the same cycles that are the foundation for both ancient and modern astrological awareness. Let's begin with the climate cycle. Scientists identify historic and repeating climate cycles from seafloor sediments, tree ring data, and Arctic ice cores. The ice cores contain data as far back as 400,000 years. From these ice cores, scientists can determine the temperature of the Earth, atmospheric conditions, and a host of other environmental measurements at specific times in history. So what are these ice cores telling us about our climate? Well, there's no doubt that the supercharged injection of CO2 and other toxins into the atmosphere that began with the Industrial Revolution of the late 1800s has certainly caused its share of environmental mayhem, including increased warming. But based on actual data, it appears that the greater cause of the warming we're experiencing today is caused by three cosmic cycles, first recognized by the Austrian-Hungarian astronomer Milton Malachowicz. The Earth's temperature changes over time based on its proximity to the Sun. About 18,000 years ago, the area of the Earth that we call New York City was buried under more than a mile of ice. The three cycles that shift the Earth's position in space relative to the Sun are the Earth's orbit around the Sun, called eccentricity, the change in the Earth's tilt angle, called obliquity, and the wobble of the Earth around its axis, called precession. Precession is the 26,000-year cycle referenced by the Mayan calendar. 2012 didn't represent the end of the world. It represented the end of one cycle and the beginning of the next. The data shows that when any two of these three cycles simultaneously reach their peak, the place where the Earth is positioned closest to the Sun, the Earth experiences warming. Today, we see precession and obliquity peaking, and the Earth is warming. The second emerging cycle is the economic cycle. We've been conditioned to believe that economies are about stock markets and currencies. But economies are actually about people. Economies are about people, relationships, and sharing of resources such as food, water, medicine. Many indigenous cultures have no money, but have strong, healthy economies. Russian economist Nikolai Kondratyev's K-wave theory describes a 50 to 60 year global economic growth cycle for capitalistic systems. Mr. Kondratyev is credited with correctly predicting the Great Depression and the eventual rise of the capitalist West. That latter prediction resulted in his execution by the Russian communist leader, Joseph Stalin. The Kondratyev economic cycle, or K-wave, is based on how technology innovations affect economies and society. A K-wave is divided into 4 specific periods or seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Spring is called the season of inflation. We see monetary inflation as aged technologies and systems no longer meet demand. At the same time, new emerging technologies begin to create expanding economic opportunities or spaces. It is a season of general abundance and expanding resources for the masses. The new technologies also promote new ways of thinking, and a struggle with old ideas and old ways of being takes hold. The spring season typically lasts 25 to 30 years. Summer is the season of runaway inflation in terms of the effect these new technologies have on society. The new technologies are reaching maturity, and economic spaces have one last gasp of expansion before growth begins to shrink. Summer typically runs 3 to 5 years. Autumn is the season of disinflation. The technology has matured, the economic spaces from the technology are filled, economic growth slows, and the job markets for the next generation workers are becoming very competitive. Autumn typically lasts 7 to 10 years. Winter is the season of deflation. The new technology is now aged technology. Economic growth has slowed, and the economy shrinks, even as new emerging technologies are quietly underway. Winter typically runs for 15 to 20 years. Economists have identified 6 Kondratyev historical waves. We are now in the spring of the 6th wave. As we watch our current global economy shift in real time, a new economy is emerging, and we're trying to make it fit into an existing idea of money that is broken and no longer working. We are entering an era of abundance and trying to fit it into a money system based in scarcity. The third convergent cycle is the cycle of human conflict. We typically think of outbreaks of conflict and war as strictly random. The studies have shown that the majority of the major conflicts on Earth correlate to cycles of the sun. Solar cycles, which are 11-year cycles, influence the magnetic field of the planet. Increased solar activity weakens the Earth's magnetic field. Studies are beginning to show that the Earth's magnetic field affects human behavior. What we've noticed is that when Earth's magnetic fields are strong, we are less aggressive and more cooperative. It's just the opposite when the magnetic fields are weak. And guess what they are right now? Even though we entered a solar minimum in 2020, the sun's radioactive activity is greater than normal, and is expected to increase as we approach the solar maximum in 2025. We are vulnerable to conflict at all scales. We are learning that we are connected to the cosmos in ways we've never really considered. We see the impacts of these converging cycles playing out in front of our very eyes. We find ourselves in the throes of technological and economic change, an intensified period of human conflict, and what I call the force multiplier, climate change. Many of our ways are under scrutiny as new ways of being are coming into manifestation. Everything is up for question. But perhaps the most overlooked question in all of this is how the Mayans know.
My name is Jackie, and I'm a nutritional health coach. I utilize the ancient knowledge of medical astrology as a guide to achieving health and wellness, and this is Becoming Elemental.
Becoming Elemental is a series focusing on embracing the symbolism of the four elements. Everyone has all of these elements. It's what makes us complete. But the other elements we spoke about earlier were in a metaphorical or in a spiritual sense. So in that context, Earth represents humanity. And with Earth, we can also see that these elements make up all the main parts of the universe that we live in. So now, after going through this in a symbolic way, we can also see how that these elements make up the main parts of the human body having a spiritual experience. So the art of medical astrology teaches how human beings are made of and governed by these four elements. And it's all about maintaining balance between the four that ensures physical as well as mental and emotional well-being. A tropical environment is a perfect example where we can see them existing coherently best. The zodiac signs also encompass all the elements. Each of the 12 signs is identified by one of them. So there are 3 zodiac signs in every element. And we have reached our last set. And last but not least are the Earth zodiac signs. Taurus, April, May babies. Happy birthday, guys. Virgo, October, September babies. And Capricorn, December, January babies. Earth signs are usually known to be down to earth with a laid-back personality. And they're known to be hardworking, dependable, stable, and they make loyal friends. Do you see any of your favorite entertainers under their stars? Perhaps your star mates. In this body, mind, spirit segment, Taurus can be seen as the earth body. In the zodiac, Taurus is related to what we value in our value systems. So in other words, what you have, like your possessions. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and she loves to enjoy the luxury. And why not? We just have to make sure it's not in excess, because you can become so sturdy and rooted that it could be hard to change. So Taurus is a good symbol of the Earth's beauty, stability, and strength. In medical astrology, where each sign rules over a body part, Taurus has dominion over throat health. Consider these tips to keep your throat healthy as you indulge in all those delicious goodies we give ourselves via the mouth down the throat.
It's good to remember if we become possessive and greedy of all those delicious dishes and desserts, it can result in excess earth energy, which may show itself with health issues like obesity, diabetes, and heart problems.
Keep your inner Taurus in balance with all of her Venusian treats. Try to incorporate bitter and astringent foods. Bitter helps detoxify and get rid of waste, and the astringent, pungent foods can help with digestion.
Excess earth energy is equivalent to a lack of stimulation, which shows up as a lack in circulation with cold hands and feet, poor digestion, and a slow heart rate.
A wonderful way to connect to planet Earth is to do some grounding exercises. Grounding exercises help us to connect with the present moment and release some anxiety and tension. The Earth Mind is Virgo, harvest time, the fall equinox. Virgos process and distill information quickly and efficiently. Earth minds are ruled by the ruler of communication, which is Mercury. And this is perfect when it comes to communicating because Mercury is androgynous and can tap into both the masculine and feminine way of seeing things. Virgo is also very cooperative, adaptable, and looks to serve the needs of humanity. In medical astrology, Virgo rules over the digestive system. It's our digestive system that chooses which parts of the foods that we eat have vitamins and minerals and other nutrients.
A clear intestinal tract allows the body to function at its best. It's not clogged up, literally, with a bunch of old food. A clogged up system can also make thinking foggy. There might be something to that. It's like holding on to old energy and rethinking the same thoughts over and over. So do you ever notice how a bad decision with food choices or maybe with anything might make you feel to your stomach? They say we should listen to our gut.
Some foods that promote digestion and keep your inner Virgo happy are foods that are high in magnesium and potassium. These types of foods can relieve nervous tension and help prevent constipation.
Excess mental earth can show up as being really stubborn and greedy. Sometimes there is a depressive attitude or maybe being super critical of others. So with mental earth, we aim to have a balanced energy, and that shows up as being highly organized and thinking logically and compassionately at the same time. Remember, male and female energy balanced.
The earth spirit is Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planets of rules, restrictions, and hard lessons if rules are not followed. But sometimes we must repeat the same lessons in life, and it might take 1 or 2 times. But in general, Capricorn has us thinking about where we want to be in life and what we want to do. So what are your goals? And what boundaries and rules do you have for yourself to achieve your goals? Capricorn is the 10th sign in the zodiac and the only hybrid astrology symbol, being a combination of reality and fantasy. It's the sea goat. And the sea goat represents the goat's hard work and ambition, and the fish's connection to the watery spiritual world, a connection of 2 worlds. like body and spirit. Because when you think about it, your body wouldn't function without your spirit. In medical astrology, Capricorn rules the structure of our body, that being the skeleton, which gives us form, and the skin, which acts like a container. These organs are very dense, and eating foods that have calcium, vitamin D, and silica would be beneficial. Collagen peptides are also very good for joints, skin, hair, and nails.
The earth is a feminine element. So remember, this is not to be understood with how we usually see masculine and feminine in a social setting, but energy-wise. Energy-wise, it means receptive to energy versus expelling energy. Mentally, what kind of energy are you allowing into your psyche? Are they uplifting words and thoughts? What kind of news and entertainment, music, and conversations are you receptive to?
As a society, we have learned that when we focus our energy on something, we can obtain it. We all have certain intentions and want to achieve a certain reality. We see our intentions come into being when everything is aligned. All elements are working together cohesively. Our thoughts are in sync with our heart, and our heart is aligned with our gut instinct, which is acted out in the real world with integrity. Maybe if we practice more acts of forgiveness, it can prevent glitches in our frequency flow. It's been said that the current consciousness of humanity is still holding on to programming or a way of thinking that is not caught up with the world that we're actually living in, much less so than the world that we really want to create and make it our reality where everyone is treated fairly. So being able to look at the one facing us in the mirror and remembering to choose not to live from a perspective of fear and scarcity, which can sometimes lead to being overcompetitive or even cruel or even oppressive towards others. By looking at oneself and choosing that perspective of abundance, that's what will actually help us get to that reality of peace. And remembering to agree to disagree and recognize the differences amongst us while also appreciating the similarities can promote this evolution as a collective. To end this series by looking to the stars as a guide as to how to do this, Saturn, the ruling planet of Capricorn, has just entered the sign of Pisces and will remain there for the next few years, which is extremely exciting. So now our strict ruler is in the realm of dreams and emotions. So we can take the best of both worlds by embracing integrity, humility, and love towards ourselves and to one another as we go forward. Thanks for watching. Do as you will and harm none. Peace.
Very nice. The Earth is an amazing place, and we are very much connected to it.
Yes, and we're beginning to recognize our responsibility to care for the place that we call home. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat are all connected to how well we care for our planet.
You could say our bodies are connected to the Earth.
Exactly.
Well, I think the best way to care for our planet is to know as much as we can about it and about ourselves. And in that pursuit, we will be exploring how the newest discoveries in quantum science and archaeology are changing the story of us.
Science and technology are progressing so quickly that we now have new lenses with which to link the past to the present. And in many cases, we're finding that the truth may be stranger than fiction.
Yeah, it appears that we live in a place that is so much bigger and grander than I could have ever imagined. And I think many of us will be amazed at what we're learning about ourselves, our past, and our potential futures.
I can't wait. Let's get started.
All right. Look for our next video in another couple of months. Until then, thank you for watching, and more than ever, as we navigate the rough waters of these converging cycles, keep a smile in your heart and share it with everyone you know.
Goodbye, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.
I'm lost in the light. I'm caught in the sound. Given to the way we're in right now. We stay in motion. Hey, we stay awake like da-da-da-da-da. A new day, a new place, like da-da-da-da-da. A new face, a new stage, like da-da-da-da-da. We stay awake like da-da-da-da-da. Like I'm lost in the light. I'm caught in the sound. Given to the way we're in right now. I'm lost in the light. I'm caught in the sound. Given to the way we're in right now. I'm lost in the light. I'm caught in the sound. We stay in motion. Hey, we stay awake like da-da-da-da-da. A new day, you're like summertime. I get lost in your green eyes. In the woods, there's a wildfire, wildfire, wildfire. Your light is a friend of mine when I'm lost in the dark side.